My peoples, our guest of the day on the Power Narrative podcast is BRENDA NAKHULO. KHAIMIA. Hey, nakwambia kukua Mluya ni kazi. But here we are. BRENDA NAKHULO is the marketing manager at Samsung Electronics Limited, and she has got a long span of years working in the technology and electronics world. BRENDA, karibu to the Power Narrative podcast.
Thank you so much, ZP.
You know you are our first female guest. What an
honor. Glad to be the first female guest.
I'm very excited to have you here, because even when I told you about this idea, you were like, that's a great idea, I want to be there. So basically, we just want you to share with us your story. How did you get to be in this space that you are in? Yes, you have your background in marketing, but you have got such a great history in the tech world, even in the business development, more aligned toward the tech world. Kindly share with us.
Now, ZP, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and for sharing with you the story. Now, it's such an interesting thing. So, around 2010, the smartphone industry was quickly catching up in the can I say third world?
Yes, it's okay.
I think we are in third world, yeah? So we were moving away from the feature phone to smartphone. So then I was working in a PR agency called Silver Bullet in 2010. I was still a very young girl.
You're still
trying to learn, yeah? So this brief lands at my desk from my boss and is like, BRENDA, there's this new brief that has come and it's in Chinese. I don't know what you're going to do. So I looked at her and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with the Chinese brief? Where do I even start? You know, now back in the day, people were still, internet and all those things and stuff like that. And working in a PR agency back in the day was, the moment a brief lands at your desk, figure it yourself.
Yes.
Nobody is going to hold your hand. Nobody is going to do anything. So what did I do? I took the brief. Of course, I went to Facebook and ranted how I got this brief. But I was like, you know what? Now breathe in, breathe out. Now you need to figure out. So I went online and now did the Google Translate, because that is the only way I could do it. So it was a new brief. They were bringing in a new product in the market. Now then, that was now Huawei, yeah? They were bringing in a new product in the market. And they're working in partnership with Safaricom. So there were two main products that were coming. One was U8220. I don't know if there's any Gen Z who understands that. So that one was a flagship product. And then there was the Idios product that was also coming. Now that one was for the Kawaida Mwananchi. So I was like, okay, Chinese brand in this market. I had no idea there were Chinese in this market. Until one day I went to their HQ office in Upper Hill. And I went into this building and there were so many Chinese. And I was like, where have I been all this time? Who are these people? So that's how I got into this tech world. So I got onto that brief, did it 360. They wanted PR, digital, events, everything, end to end. So working on an agency, you are given an opportunity to do the entire 360 from a client service point of view, whereby you manage different entities within that. So that's how I got into this tech world, and it's been a journey.
That's congratulations. For our audience who don't know what 360 PR is.
Okay. Now, so in a agency now, it's called advertising agency. So when you look at advertising agencies and how they've been structured, they have PR, that is public relations. There's the digital, and then there's the BTL. BTL is below the line, and there's the above the line, which is called ATL, yeah? So now when you look at all these entities, all of them are communication entities which fall under marketing. So you call it 360 degree. So when you receive a brief from a client and you hear this client wants a 360 degree plan, no, it's the entire thing, above the line, below the line, PR, digital, and everything. So it's not just one specific aspect of communication that you do, hence 360.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What made you really be interested in working in the PR company? Maybe you can take us now back to your childhood.
Wow, it's a long story. So I'm a village girl, born and brought up in the village, went to boarding school, and then when I was just in Form 3, my dad passed on, unfortunately. So that was in 2022. And then I'm the second born in our family, and my big sister, who was then a day star, as in you people. When you hear about Daystar, as in my sister,
and then Daystar
yes, my sister has been through, Yani, she was like my role model.
Yeah.
She went to Kenya High, went to Daystar, and now me, I'm her follower. I'm just like, I want to be like my big sister. Yeah. Hi, Diana, this is me, vibing you. She has always been my, like, someone who I aspire to be. Yeah. And so look up to her. Now, unfortunately, my dad dies. Unfortunately, I'm the second born in Form 3. Now, how many people? We are like 6 of us. So you can imagine the number of people that were behind us, behind me, waiting, school fees and everything. And my mom is a public servant. She's just a nurse who depends on paycheck after paycheck and loans and everything. So you can imagine the burden that she had. So I performed well. I got a C+. Okay, C+, back then, if you had money, you'll either go to parallel degree or you go to a private university. So for me, going to a private university wasn't working. Yeah. So my mom was like, okay, now what do we do? So there was the go to teaching, or I really, really wanted to go to Utalii College to do home management and all those things because I really, really love those kind of things. And then now my sister was doing communication at Daystar University. So I went to my mom, I was like, now what do I do? Okay, definitely there was no question of going to university, going for a parallel degree, so it was just the colleges, yeah? So my mom looked for someone at Kenya Utalii College, there's nothing. And Kuhongana, this town, getting a place.
Kuhongana becomes more than the fees.
Exactly. So she found someone who will get me into KMC. But now, unfortunately, when they got someone to get me into KMC, the slots were full. And then now there's Kenya College of Communication Technology, which is now called Multimedia University. So they were like, we are creating a mass communication class now we are starting a communication entity at KCCT. Yeah. So in 2005, I end up where? At KCCT instead of KMC. Yeah. And that is how the journey started. So did 1 year, you don't know what you want to do. Do you want to do? Then now that's when I heard about PR. I didn't know what this PR is. Me, I knew if you go to KMC, you want to become a broadcaster, a journalist, a reporter, those things. And everyone, that is what everyone was looking at. Now, meanwhile, me, I'm just like, I don't think I really, really want to do that. But guys will be like, your voice, you're good for radio and stuff like that. But back in the day also, celebrities were the one who were taking over the airwaves. Yes. So you cannot just qualify to be on radio, to be a radio presenter and everything. You have to go through all those things. So after 1 year, we were told to go for field attachment. Again, I'm back home. I'm like, now, where do I go? What do I do? So a cousin of mine, my cousin's husband, knew someone in a PR agency. She was like, I have this person who is looking for an attachment. Do you have a place? And they're like, yeah, bring her on board. Wow. That's how I ended up in a PR agency. You guys, it was a multinational PR agency. Wow. Advertising, it's not a PR, an advertising agency, because now there was the PR department. Yeah. Now when I landed there on the morning of my first day, this girl from the village, the people there, when you hear their background and whatever, their English, USIU, Daystar, Catholic University, and here you are. From where? Multimedia University.
And that time it's a new university. The name is still, people are still wondering.
What? Multimedia University, because people knew it as an ICT company, as ICT as well as engineering. Because majority of the students were either ICT or engineering students. So as we were just, I think it was just an extension of KMC. So that's how I ended up in PR agency. I think it was just now by default, and here we are. I
don't even think, I always believe a lot of these things, it's not by default. I always tell myself that even without doing anything, what was meant to be,
it was meant to
be. It is going to be. Yes. So I don't think it was by accident. You might look at it as an accident, but you being there was very purposeful, because imagine all these people and all the avenues to other places that you wanted were blocked. But there's just this one uncle. And he only knew just this one niece, whom he could fix there. So, I mean, it was strategic enough. So after you got there, tell me, why did you decide to strictly do PR? Because a lot of times people go for attachment just for the sake. Let me go for attachment. I take this box and I graduate, but then I want to study something else. But you have stuck in that line of PR, and now I don't even think you're doing PR anymore. You're doing marketing. Yes. Which, of course, I believe also PR and marketing are connected. So how did you evolve, and why are you so passionate about tech?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how did I evolve from PR to marketing and now getting into the tech space? Yeah. So now, when I got at it back then, it was called Silver Bullet. Unfortunately, it folded. Yani saa zingine I just feel so sad when I hear where I came from, because that was my foundation. Like it was my stepping stone to where I am today. Yeah. So I got there, as I told you, it was a 360 agency. So I could see now they use the client service, the PR and events. Now, as we were in the PR and events department, there was a whole client service who used to do ATL activities. Me, I got there and I was like, this is where people do production of TVC, the commercials we see on TVC, the adverts we hear on radio and stuff like that. I was like, wait a minute, which world is this? And
there's
where
a whole
am I?
big production.
Yes. So I was just curious. So in as much as I was in the PR department when I was doing PR, events and all that, I was like, I want to know, over and above just PR and events, what else do these other people do? And now, as I've told you now, Huawei gave me that opportunity when that account came to came to my desk, and they were like, we want 360, not just PR or events, we want 360. So now I was exposed to this other department. Now on reviewing and looking around and seeing where do I, because I'm very good in manifesting, that is number one, and I always look at where do I want to see myself 5 years down the line or 10 years. Yes, I know people always say do not put yourself like 5 years or 10 years, but sometimes it's
important.
It's very important.
Focus.
I would rather work with long term than short term, because short term you'll always be disappointed.
Yes.
So I was like, 5 years from now, where do I want to go? So now when I came in, that was my first attachment. I went back to school. And then after I was done, I called again now my former boss and said, I'm done with school. Can I come back at least? As I tried to look for a place. He was like, why not? You come. So I came back. And then now an opportunity arose. I was now put in as now a full-time employee. ZP. Nikatoka kupewanga 600 bob per week. Kama transport, 2,400 bob per week to now getting a paycheck at the end of the month. I think that was around 2007, 2008. 50K.
Yes.
Me, I was just like, my God, where is
miracle?
This?
God has opened ways.
So now when I got now full employment and all that, now I started learning. I realized now PR was boring. Not really boring, but I had a lot of things in my head, a lot of creativity and everything. So PR was all about media relations, government relations, writing, a lot of writing and all that. But it just stops at that.
And trying to be very diplomatic at it.
Yes, this is how you need to carry yourself. This is how you need to do blah, 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 blah. But I was just like, my creativity level, sometimes I just want to get out of the box. I don't want to be boxed. I want to get out of the box. So I was like, you know what? I want to know what client service people do. So that is what I did. And then now, after that, now I got promoted. Now, after Huawei successful launch, I got promoted. And then I got poached by another, again, advertising agency. So I was like, now, this is the journey I'm going. So I got exposed to other accounts, handling insurance companies, hospitality, and all that. Remember tech, So the reason why I got the job in the next agency was because of my tech background with Huawei. Because now then they were looking for someone to handle techno. So now I got it. Then I went there. So at agency, you do not just handle one account. You handle different accounts, So I had SAB Miller, I had EABL and all that. So in between that, so I stayed there for I think 3 years. And then Huawei headhunted me because my CV was out there.
And people were seeing you.
Exactly. So my CV was out there. And now Huawei headhunted me. And that's how now I got into tech space. And that is where I am.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, because, I always find it very exciting when people say they were headhunted. Like, you didn't have to apply. You didn't have to struggle with CVs.
By the way, ZP, let me just tell you the truth. And this is something I always tell people. one of those. I'm one of the luckiest people. Every day I thank God for that. I've never hustled for a job. I've never stayed out of work. I've never, the way people go up to like 5 years and stuff, they've looked for a job after campus. Nothing.
Yeah.
Never. It's just always from one job to
another.
As in like straight from college.
Yes.
I will say, I always thank God I've never lacked. I hear people talking about unemployment. I hear people talking about not getting jobs, and I'm just like, God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You knew why I came in this city. I needed
the
job.
Village.
Yes.
You need to save the people in the village down
you
there.
You knew why I had to leave the village and come to this city because
it's not easy. It's not
tough.
easy. I think I've also been lucky. The only time I've been out of employment was like you. The first organization I worked for also closed. It was donor funded. So when the money got over, even us, we had to start looking for alternatives. But it was around some 8-month session. But during that time, I was also still doing a consultancy here with the NGOs from one end to another, using drama therapy, theater and works. So sometimes, yes, it might seem like a very far-fetched story, but we can only say we are lucky. We are lucky.
Let's just say we thank God.
We thank God.
We thank God.
Yes.
Because sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, if one day I stopped working or I'm told we no longer need your services, go, where do you go? That's why now
I'll come to that question towards the end. I'll come to that question.
Yeah.
For now, I want to take us back. You've talked about your plan. How do you plan? I'm very big on vision board planning, and I always tell people, if you do 1 year vision board, the younger you are, maybe the shorter, because when you've just started working, you can do 1 year, 2 year. But the older you get now, you can do more long-term kind of vision board planning. So how have you strategized in terms of thinking about your vision board? Why do you think 5 years and 10-year plans are much better for you right now?
Okay. Even me, I'm very big in vision board. I've done vision boards with my friends, and then it got to a point they got bored of my stories around vision boards. They left me along the way. I've done vision boards with my sisters, my siblings. I've even involved my nephews and nieces, Now, it gets to a point where it feels like it's a burden to people, because guys will be like, NAKHULO, we are always doing this vision board, but where are the results? Where are the results? And one of the key things I always tell people, whenever you are looking at that vision board, and I always go back and revisit, because I do those pictures, all those things. I always go back and revisit some of the things that I put up, and I'm like, this is where I wanted to be. I know that things that did not happen within that period, but it has eventually happened, So I'm very, very big at vision boards. And also, I just want to encourage people, even if you cannot do it with your friends, you can still do your own vision board as an individual. And then you just keep on checking and seeing where do I need to improve, and work towards it. Do not just work on a vision board like, I want a car.
Then you pray.
And then you wait for that car to happen. No, it's not going to happen. How do you want to get that car?
You have to be strategic and very
clear. Exactly. What do you want? And realistic about it, and work towards that. So I'm not a firm believer in short term, because short term goals really, really disappoint. Long-term goals really, really help. And it has really helped me in knowing, like now, how I've been getting these jobs is just simply because of manifesting. Like, by this time, I want to be at this level. By this time, I want to be at this level. I know sometimes it takes longer, but I'm just like, look, God, I'm working towards that direction. So anyone who has never understood what this vision board is all about, or if you think vision board is a waste of time, just try it. Try it. One day you'll look back and you'll be like, it makes sense.
It made sense. And you achieved some of the things. There's this saying that people like nowadays, just throwing like, I am grateful because I am living in the moment that I prayed for so many years ago. And
one of the things that a friend of mine told us the other day, she went for was it, I don't know, a gathering where they were discussing about their future plans and all those things. And she asked on LinkedIn, she was like, why, when it comes to our personal lives, we just do things haphazardly.
Yeah.
But now when it comes to company, like now me, from where I'm seated as a marketing manager, I have like, if someone was to ask me, what plans do you have the first half of the year? I will tell you like, Kenya, this is what I'm doing. Tanzania, this is what I'm doing. Wapi, this is what I'm doing. Everything. How are you going to do it? This is what I'm doing, this is what I'm... But now, my personal life, that is where now we draw the line. How about sometimes we just put, and that is also some of the things that makes me concerned with my friends, because now when we start now talking about things that we want to do from a friendship point of view, or
like it's not important.
Yes, it's not boring. Important. Or now me, I wear my corporate hat, and I'm like, okay, yes, now you've talked about this, so how are we? And they're like, no, NAKHULO. No, you're not going to boss us. You're not going. But I'm like, you know what? I'm now trying to put myself, if this was corporate life, this is how I should have done it. But the moment now you're like, less serious, let's do this, it's never that serious. Yeah.
You want to be the accountability partner.
I want an accountability partner.
But they look at you like you're pushing them.
Pushing them so hard. So it's gotten to a point where I've had friction with my friends. And now I'm in my 40s, whereby I'm just like, if it's not adding value in my life,
slowly.
Pole to take people as they come and move.
I think also, but generally as we grow older, friends become less because of sense of purpose. But what I have also realized, it's around this middle age that friends become less. But then when you become now really old, so as you grow older, they become less. But when you become really old, it is easy to identify those people whose purpose now align. Then you might make some friends again, or the ones you had earlier on might come back. So don't worry about losing friends now. It's about realigning purposes. So I want us to get back to now, you talked about client service at a very early stage of life. When you talk about client service, for many of our listeners, including myself here, we think, is it customer service? What exactly is this client service?
No, those are just names that are used in PR or advertising agencies, when it comes to client service. So your role as a client service, okay, right now I'm on the client side. So there's a team that is now doing the client service, So now when it comes to client services, to ensure the client's needs are met, you ensure that whatever plans, like let's say, I'll give an example, like now I'm the client, where I am. So there are briefs that I get from the rest of the other team within our company, which needs support from a marketing point of view. Say, example, like now when we recently launched the S26 series, that was not work that one person can do. I cannot sit and say, I'm the one who did everything from end to end. There's a team of people. So now the client service team is now the guys who are responsible for digital. They're the guys who are responsible for TVC. Now, where are we going to run this TVC? Why are we picking this radio station? The client service is the one who are in charge of now content creators and all that. Why are we picking this content creator? How are we going to work with them and all that? So that now you ensure that the vision and the goal for the company or whichever corporate or client you're working with are met at the end of the day. And then also ensure it's measurable in terms of ROI. Because you see, marketers are known for spending. They're not known for bringing in the money. So money is brought in and then we do the spending. But now for the money to be brought in, we have to spend. So also it's now an end to end. So how do you manage the client's expectation from end to end? So that's what we call client service. And like customer service is all about receiving maybe inquiries and stuff like that, answering, and which is just the back and forth and all that. So client service is a little bit wider.
Thank you. For our audience, ROI means return on investment.
Oh no, I need to keep on remembering. This is a public conversation. Yes, ROI, return on investment.
Today we are really learning a lot of abbreviations. BTL, below the line, ATL,
ATL,
above the line.
line.
Yes. Your experience is really valuable. Right now, you are heading the whole of East Africa. Maybe just from a general perspective, you know, sometimes there's this guy, I think he's on social media, he always says how Kenyans behave, how Ugandans behave, how Tanzanians behave. From a marketing perspective, what do you think is the consumption trends within these different countries? How different are we?
Wow. Hey, I don't know. That one I can write a book. Nakwambia, hey. Can I speak in Kiswahili?
Yes.
I hope some viewers can hear this. Lakini wacha tu kwambie, I've seen pepe.
Yes.
So anyway, now my current, when it comes to the countries that we handle, so we have Kenya, which is English speaking, Tanzania, Kiswahili speaking and a little bit of English, Uganda is English, Sudan is Amharic. No. Ethiopia is Amharic, Sudan is Arabic, Rwanda, they do most Rwandese, but we do a lot of our communication in English. DRC is French speaking, and then which other? Those are, have I said there's South Sudan and there's Somali. So now when you look at these people, you can see even their cultural ways of doing things. So the Kenyans, we are very fast and we take up ideas and execute very, very fast. Meanwhile, these other markets, you have to be very strategic, yeah? So now when it comes to marketing, like let's say you are marketing to Sudan market, it's not where we are. And it's not that the reason why they are there, it's based on what they've been through. Because there's a time it was a vibrant country, like 2020, 2021, 2022. But right now, at some point, it went just down. So now how do we communicate to those people? So you need to, again, win their trust back. So you need to take time and come up with a motive way of how to win their trust back so that they can be able to buy into your product or service. Yeah. Now, let's go to Ethiopia. Ethiopia, kwanza, the government regulations and everything, it's just something else. Upper Kenya, the other day I saw a skit online. I can't remember who it was. Who was like, let's zikiendanga to Upper Kenya. Like, the president must resign. The president must go. The president, you know, like anything to any inconvenience. Yes, Kenyans, we are like,
president.
This government, we are not voting. Yeah, tomorrow we are ready. And then it comes tomorrow. We move on to other lives. But these other countries, you cannot do those kind of things. You have to be very tactical on how you manage them. There's the emotions aspect of it and all that. So, mtoto anakujanga na sahani yake. So I'll say from a marketing point of view, all these markets zinakuja na sahani yake.
Kenya is the independent kid.
Yes, Kenya. This one, you'll just move. But these other markets, wanakuja na sahani yao. So you need to be very careful on how you manage them. Even the teams. Remember, the teams are natives in that market. So you cannot go telling them what they need to do.
Because they tell you we know
our people. But you umejieka ile nini ya Kenya, you want things to move.
Yeah.
As in like, what, you are wasting my time, people. You are wasting my time. And they're like, what is this person telling us? This is how we do things, yeah? Like, I'll give an example, like Ethiopia, they are always having holidays. You call someone, they're like, no, we are sorry, we are on holidays, up to when? And you're like, these people, they're
holidays
always on
what?
Yeah, they're always on holidays. 1 minute, that's which holiday? And you're like, things need to move. What are you telling me you're on holiday? But now, you just come back, breathe in, breathe out, because that's their market. And that is how they work. It's just like us, when you call someone, when someone calls you and say, we are on holiday, so they'll just have to understand you're on holiday. So you just now understand them. So it's such an interesting thing, as in like, such an interesting journey to manage these different markets with their different dynamics. Yeah.
Oh, that's very exciting for us. I'm just thinking of the person, maybe a student who's like right now almost graduating. From your experience, what is your greatest highlight?
Greatest highlight?
Yeah, greatest career highlight.
I think I'll say every other day is my greatest career highlight. There's always something. Like, let's say now, just launches. Now you've come up with the planning, executing and everything, and now everything go live.
Yeah.
So I'll say that is my greatest highlight. And I think, as you've said, it was not unfortunate for me to get into this space. I think I was just meant to be in this space. Because over time, I've just been seeing things, successful launches. You're seeing how far, like right now, I'll look at the brands maybe I handled in my previous whatever agencies. Like, I'll say there are those who folded, but there are those that are still around that I'm still very, very proud of. So those that folded is the likes of U-Mobile.
Yeah.
Everyone and anyone was talking about U-Mobile. Unfortunately, it folded, but it was such a nice model. I'll give an example of Pesa Point. Right now, all these ATMs that we're seeing around here, 20 years ago, they were not there. But I am so proud. I look at it and I'm like, in 2005, when Pesa Point was rolling out ATMs, nobody knew it's going to be what it is today. So I look at how that
The
financial
journey.
sector has transitioned over the years, and I'm like, that's the greatest highlight. So working in a marketing agency or advertising or PR and everything, it's greatest. It comes with its own drama and everything. But when you look at the products that you've launched, the services that you've launched, and you're like, wow, this is my greatest highlight. So I'll say, yeah.
Yeah. Then now maybe I'll twist it again. Your greatest challenge.
No,
Yeah. Or let me
greatest.
call it your greatest lesson.
Sijui hata tuzime tu mic. Hiyo nayo inataka tudidi, but wacha tutuongee. My greatest lesson was now getting into corporate world and realizing that the higher you go, people always say the cooler
it becomes.
Friend, it's not easy. Because there's a lot that happens when you are going up the corporate ladder and you get more responsibilities. So what that means is there are so many cameras
looking at you
from different corners. And out of those cameras, like 90% are waiting for you to
fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now capture that opportunity and use it for you to go down completely. And majority of people, I know even maybe amongst your circles, you've seen people who are up there and then suddenly they're down there, or they just went quiet and you're like, what happened? And then now when you dig further and you find out things and you're like, oh my God, that is what really, really happened. So that is one of, as in like, if you are where I am right now, one of the things that I always tell people is always watch your back. Always watch your back.
And when you talk about like being up there and everyone is looking at you, so to look at every opportunity, what mistakes you're going to make.
Yes.
Imagine, I think 90% is for men. For women, add another, it's like 98%.
8%.
They're like, she's a woman, she won't make it. The moment you go and leave, even if you just go and leave for 1 month, Amashika member, sorry, is she pregnant?
Yes.
Is she sick? Like, they're looking for every reason. Will she really come back?
Yes.
Like, anytime something happens to a woman or a woman is in a leadership position, everybody is waiting 200 times for her to fail than when a man is in a leadership position.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Which is very unfortunate. So I'll say from my experience, one of the greatest lessons is just watch your back. The higher, yes, look at going to the next level when it comes to your career and stuff like that, but also look at the environment around you. Look at the environment around you. It can either make or break you. So that is one of the key lessons that someone needs to take it up there. If you're looking at someone who is at a senior level and you're like, I want to be like that person, there's a lot that they hide.
They're holding on to a lot. Because also if you show too much, they're like, she's weak.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not supposed to show too much.
True.
Yes.
True.
I'd like you to tell us about your discipline and values, those core principles that NAKHULO holds that have really been able to carry you through these, is it 20 years?
So now, again, as I told you, remember my story,
Yes.
how my dad died and all that. So I'm the second born in our family. I went to boarding school at the age of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, the other day I saw some funny memes about people who've gone to boarding school and
Yeah.
something like that.
I also went to boarding school.
Yes. So imagine at the age of 10,
Yes.
you're in a boarding school. What does that mean? You need to be very, very independent. Your mom is not there. Your dad is not there. Nobody's going to cook for you. Nobody's going to do for you everything. So you need to figure out. And I think that is one major principle that I've carried in my entire into adulthood and everything. Like, life is all about figuring out. Yes, you might ask someone to help you and stuff like that, but always figure out what you want. Another thing, one of the greatest value that I carry with me is also just accountability. I love people who are just accountable. And I'm that person who, when you tell me you're going to do this, please just try and do it. Yeah. If there's one thing that I hate doing is following up. Yeah. And I'm not that person who as in like, I'll ask you and it will make me angry. Yeah. Either
because everybody should just do their part.
Just do your part. Yeah. If you promised you're going to do this by next week, do it by next week. Yeah. Do not come up. Or if you know it's not going to happen, tell me well in advance that it's not. So I really value people who are very responsible. And when it comes to accountability, just be accountable. Yeah. So those are the key main things. And another thing, what can I say, which I know, I'll say it's either a weakness or a strength, but I'm really trying to manage. What can I say? There's this word, I don't know how to frame it, but there's this, I'm known to be very strict, and I'm known to be that particular person who, if I want us to go this direction,
we will go.
That is the direction we are going.
Yeah.
I'll give you a chance.
I'll use a positive word, focused, because...
Yes, focused. I'll give you a chance to tell me, benefit of doubt, like, this is what we can do and stuff like that. But when I view things and see you are neither here nor there, and you're just that person...
You make the decision and we go.
I make the decision, and now that is what we are going to do. And I think a lot of the time, I always clash with so many people, because I'm like... This is the tumeshika Thika highway.
Yeah, tunaenda
hiyo Thika.
Na tutafika.
So sasa wewe ni either you play catch up.
Yeah.
I will try to stop or I'll try to slow down so that you can play catch up.
Exactly.
But if you do not play catch up, friend, mimi nishatembea na nimeenda.
I think when it comes to male leadership, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
But when it is us women who are leading that way, they start saying, you're leading like a man. She's so rash. Because as women, they want us to be more accommodating. But you see, sometimes being very accommodating as a leader can really delay procedures or delay systems. So I think it's not a bad thing. It is just that sometimes when people view the lens that people used to view women in leadership is different from the lens that people used to view men in leadership. You talked about your elder sister as being a very great role model. Tell us about your relationship with her.
So I'm the second born. We are 6 of us. So zingine watu nasema, my mom was looking for a boy.
Oh, you have 6 girls.
We have 5 girls and 1 boy. So I was talking about my sisters, or rather my siblings. So we are 6 of us, and 5 girls and 1 boy. Now the boy is the last one. So zingine watu nasema, my mom was looking for a boy when she was busy.
Thank God she found.
She found one. So now, I'll say my relationship with my eldest sister is we are like firstborn, secondborn, firstborn, rivalry, and all that. As in, like, who wants to be the firstborn, who wants to be the secondborn? Because our age gap is 5 years. So me and her, our age gap is 5 years. So I'll generally talk about all my siblings, as a whole, because how we've been brought up. As I told you, my dad passed on when I was very young, so you can imagine the rest of the crew. They were very, very young. So we've grown up in a society, whereby we are like, let us be first year siblings, secondly, let's be friends, because if you cannot be a friend to your sibling, then
Yeah.
are you able to maintain friendship with strangers out there?
No, it's not
It's
easy.
not possible. Yeah, I know people have not so good relationship with their siblings, but as we make it work. Because we always remind each other where we've come from. And we're always saying, guys,
No matter what happens, you'll come back to family. Yes.
We know where if uchukue loan na mimi ni garanta wako, ninajua ni wapi nitakupata.
Yeah.
Tutaenda pale kwa nyumba na nitakupata huko. And like doing a guarantee for a stranger that I don't know where to find her. So it's a close-knit sibling. We are very, very close as siblings. In as much as, yes, we are very close as siblings, we always have our own rifts. But whenever we have our own rifts, tunasema, kama mmoja wetu amekasirika na mwingine tunasema, wewe, kasirika, enda pale kwa ile kona, ukasirike, ukae mandazi nini. But come back, always come back. Because at the end of the day, we are siblings. Family, so we've really, really done very close-knit, and we are very loud. We are very loud. Like the moment we get into a room, and people know.
If your family met my family,
yes,
people will not need the sound systems.
Yes, my friends always tell me, "Hey, NAKHULO, you cannot even gossip. Like you cannot. You're so loud." And I'm like, it runs in our family. Like if you find the 5 of us together, my God, we are so loud. Now, meanwhile, our brother Niwale. Chill, quiet, nini. So mpaka we are like, oh, okay. Maybe sometimes he wishes maybe he had someone in between us who is a man. So hiyo nyumba inakuanga tu loud women. Yeah. Meanwhile, now my mom, he's so proper, thorough. You know her, she went to a British, she went to Nia Girls. And Nia Girls, she usually tells us the teachers were British.
Yeah, during that time.
The teachers were British and stuff. So you can imagine being brought up, British way of doing things, nini. Sisi hapa, meanwhile, I think she just looks at us and is like, these kids, who are these kids that I gave birth to? Like, they don't have even decorum. Because when we decide to go all out, we go all out. Meanwhile, my mom, yes,
fold your clothes like this.
Fold your clothes. You cannot, my God, you cannot sleep in an ironed bed sheet. Like how? Meanwhile, mimi atatungo. Yani ko iron ni kazi.
I think I used to be like that. Even my bed sheets I used to iron until I think mothering has changed a lot of things. Like nowadays I can let go of some things. But I think growing up, I used to be that meticulous with things. Until my mother gave me my own room, by the way. So when you're talking like that about your mother, I'm like, I understand her.
Wow. Yeah. My mom, how are you sleeping in an iron bed sheet? Like how? So my mom, there's just a way on how she just does things in a proper way. She has decorum. Even how she speaks with authority. Like she wants to express her feelings.
But you have picked that from her?
Friend.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Just try me. Try me.
Yes.
The moment you start hearing my voice going up,
you
better just run for your dear life. I'm that person. Okay, I'm totally opposite of my mom. My mom will maintain her tone and everything, as in like, and tell you what she thinks and feels, how she's not happy, because sometimes I always
in a very self-controlled way.
I really, really admire that in her. Because sometimes now when I just become something else, I go back in my corner and I'm like, my God, my mom will be looking at me and wondering, which animal is this that I gave birth to? But I'm now trying to be like her. Like, listen first, and that is one thing she keeps on telling me. Please, she tells us, please, my daughters, listen first before you react. Always listen. So I turned 40 the other day. Now I'm working towards listening before reacting. Because me, hata haujafunika tu mdomo yako hivi, I'm all out. Because especially when I know I'm right.
Yeah.
When I know I'm right, that one, there's no argument. Like tutaendana bumper to bumper. So that is one thing I admire about my mom. Yani she's so meticulous when it comes to handling issues and stuff like that. She's so calm and collected. As in, like, those are some of the things that now I'm practicing in my 40s. Like, can I just be like my mom? Can I just take issues pole too without reacting and all that?
It's interesting.
It's a lot of work though.
Yeah. You know, when we were younger, there's a certain stage in a girl's life, let me not say in a woman, in a girl's life, when you feel like your mother does not understand you.
Yes.
Then now you are starting to be at that age of like, I want to be like her. And you're turning more into like...
Yes. I'm just like, wow. Every time whenever someone does anything to me and I want to react, I'm just like, breathe in, breathe out. What would your mother would have done? This is what she would have done. So that is what I've been trying to practice.
I like that you are really drawing in a role model from someone very close to you, like a mother, because a lot of us really want to think of American role models. But that aside, apart from the role model, who is your greatest mentor in your career line?
Hey, my greatest mentor. Or can I just say someone I look up to?
Yes.
And I'm just like, wow, I really admire that person, is Sylvia Mulenge. Sylvia Mulenge, the CEO of MTN Uganda. I'm just like, you know the way people are like, no, you're Sujia, what? You're a CEO, you're supposed to be doing this, you shouldn't be doing, she's so free with her life. You'll see her Sujia going bungee jumping with her kids. You'll see her running Sujia with whatever in the gym. As in, her life is all out there. Yes, in as much as there are things that maybe she might not share with us or show us, but I just love the fact that she just lives a free life. A free life. There are no scandals and anything, but she's just doing her things the way she does. Yeah. And also how she's gone through the corporate ladder and mpaka being the MTN CEO. Yeah. You remember she was supposed to have gone to Tanzania? Yeah. Was it to head Vodacom or which one was exactly. It? Yeah. And then she was denied. Visa. So you see, she never gave up. She came back. And
she was also headhunted.
Yes. A year later, she got the MTN. And I'm like, now such a person, she has a vision. Yeah, she has, and that is someone that I always looking forward to meeting one day. So that is my greatest mentor.
I think she's a really nice person. I met her during the Breakfast Book Brunch. That was, I think, in 2024. And she was very kind. She's a very humble person. So when you talk about that, it's great. It actually really reflects even on where you want to go. Now back to something you already talked about. Where next? If all else fail.
When someone tells me, Sasa wewe,
if all else fails,
what do I want to do?
Yes.
I think I'm just naturally a village girl. Like in Nairobi, I always tell people, in Nairobi nilikuja tu kutafuta kazi na ikabidi tuliishi hapa na maisha. But if I was given a chance, like today, NAKHULO, where do you want to move to start life all over? I'll want to go to the village and just do things that villagers do, like, I don't do farming. Hiyo na sita kudanganya utanipata na jembe na lima nafanya vitu kama hizo.
But I
would love to be in the countryside. So that is number one. Number two, I've really been into this fashion business. Because you see, remember, I'm
even what you're wearing right now, that's,
Trendy B fashion house.
Not anyone can wear,
Trendy B fashion house.
It's very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So the reason how I got into now fashion and everything, it's simply because of the industry I'm in. I'm in marketing and personal branding.
So Trendy B is whose?
Trendy B is my fashion brand.
You'll tell us about it.
So now, in marketing, there's something called personal branding.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that people, the moment Zippy walks into this, people will tell you, I always see online when people say you are loud laughter, those who've met you or those who've watched your video, and they'll be like, even before you enter here and they hear you laughing outside, they'll be like, that is Zippy. Yeah. Or the moment you walk in and they just know that even before, maybe say someone covers your face, and they say that is Zippy, So personal branding is very, very important. And now, again, also this is something I took up from my mom, and I think my late grandmom, my maternal grandmom and my paternal grandmom, they were very, very good when it comes to dressing. As in, they will always tell us presentation is very key. My mom, there's no way you leave the house looking madogodanyo. Apana. And she always told us, guys, yes, go out there, but do not look your problems.
Yeah.
Do not look like you did not eat breakfast or you did not eat dinner or whatever. Personal branding, that is when someone will take you seriously.
Yeah.
You can go do other things, but how you look from head to toe really, really tells about
My mother
you.
used to say it's better to be overdressed than to be underdressed.
And it's very true. Like, so right now, ukutane na mtu like now, Mimi, you meet me one day in CBD, nimevaa matambara na nini. You know the first thing that will come to your mind? NAKHULO is not okay.
Yes.
There's a problem with NAKHULO. And maybe I just decided to wear matambara. What does that mean? The first personal branding is very, very important. So now, if I can go to the countryside and now bring in the fashion and stuff in that countryside, I don't know who I'll be talking to, but those village mamas and stuff, they're just looking for someone to elevate them. Yes. You just never know. They might just turn out to be something. And one of these days, I always say, in 2 years' time or something, I want to do a fashion show in the village.
Wow.
So that people just come out and see.
And I think that can be so phenomenal. I always say a fashion show with the women with the real Kenyan body.
Exactly.
You know?
In the village.
In the village. Because in the village, they are there in their natural self. Yes.
Wamepaka Vaseline, hakuna makeup nini.
Yes.
Ni nguo tu sasa tunawatengenezea tu nguo mzuri tu. And then do a proper village fashion show.
Yeah.
And you just never know. You just never know. So fashion, if now corporate life, I was like, oh, cheers, Baba, I'm done with corporate life. Go to the countryside, continue with my fashion brand. My work will just be bringing it to the city for you people to consume. And also helping the mamas in the village, because there are so many tailors in the village. And they lack exposure. They lack someone to guide them. So that is what I'll be doing. And I'll be also giving back to the society.
I can see you have a plan. I don't know whether you've answered this question or you want to answer it in a different way. What's your greatest fear, NAKHULO?
My greatest fear is death. My God. I don't know if anyone is ever excited about death. That is my greatest fear. And I think the reason why I'm so scared of death is simply because, you know, the older you grow, now people around you start dying. And I read somewhere where someone was like, you know what? When you wake up the following day, just know you're closer to death. Yeah. That's non-negotiable.
That's a bit scary.
It's scary.
I always think one of the best things that God did for us is not letting us know when we'll die.
Yes. But also, I think he should just told us. He should just have told us, this is how you're going to die. Because can you imagine last week, someone woke up in the morning, last week Friday, woke up in the morning, went to work. By right now, Sayin Sangapi was leaving to go back home. Kumbe, kifo ilikuwa inamngoja. Like, she or he did not know in 2 hours or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Mimi, that is my number one greatest fear. Number two is lacking. Yes, I know people always usually say money and stuff like that, but just lacking. And when I talk about lacking, it's not only just about money. It's about the love, the people around you, the environment and everything, yeah? Because at the end of the day, as a human being, you need something to hold on to. But now when you lack anything and everything, that's the end. So those two are my greatest fears.
I think when you talk about lacking in terms of even love and family love, I think it reminds me one of my greatest fears. I've never looked at it that way, but I've always been scared of taking jobs outside Africa. Let me put it like that.
Me and you.
Yes.
Someone always asks me, relocating.
Yes, and I have put in 2 opportunities and I was like, no. So when you put it like being away from love, as lacking love, I always look at working out of Africa. It means being away from family and friends.
The environment.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it's a fear. Maybe we can overcome it. You never know.
It's the fear of unknown. Because even me, I've never thought of relocating.
Yes.
Visiting, I will
It's
do
okay.
it. I've never thought
Yes.
of relocating.
Yeah.
And that's why even when someone tells me, do you think you can get married to a Mzungu or any, I'm like, the moment I get married to a Mzungu, that means I have to leave my motherland and go to wherever.
Yes. They can come to Africa.
They can still come to Africa, but I'm just feeling like, no.
Yes.
Mimi ni no, pana, as in like, there's that that association and stuff like that. So that means you have to start, I don't know if, maybe we're just being selfish. Or I don't know.
It's a fear, and fear can be overcome.
Yes.
So we'll leave it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to take us back to this. So we have got cards here. You have talked about a lot of things. You've talked about life, about friends starting to disappear as you grow older, love, there's God. You've talked about God. You should tell us about your running and Trendy B, right?
Yes.
Yes. Then travel. You're not ready to travel out of Africa for love. You've talked about family.
I'm ready to travel out of Africa for fun. But
for fun, but not for love.
Not for love, but for fun.
So before you pick this, I want you to tell us about Trendy B first, because that's your plan B. It's important for people to know that this plan B is already on track. Yeah, tell us about Trendy B first.
So as a marketer, again, as I've told about personal branding, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm always judging people when people just do not dress up for the occasion. Like, guys, just try your best.
Like when you guys had Samsung launch and someone is just coming.
Like, Tebu. That one killed me. I was like, at least I found someone to support me. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But can I just make a comment about that event, yeah?
Yes.
And this is something that I wanted to go down on record. Kenyans are always, or rather people are always comparing Kenyans with Ugandans and Nigerians when it comes to dress code.
Yeah.
And I'll give an example of the Samsung event. So the dress code, it was not a dress code, it was a color theme.
Yeah.
Where they said purple.
Purple, yes.
Yeah? So when you are told it's a watch party and it's purple, don't you come in something that you feel comfortable in, right?
Yeah.
So you are zippy, you thought that suit was your comfortable look, but in purple.
Yeah.
Manguta, Wicks, and what's her name? This other lady. They were like in gowns and stuff.
Yes.
Them, they were red carpet ready.
Yeah.
This gentleman, the one who is the Gikomba guy and blah, 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 blah. He was in a purple sweatshirt and casual pants, yeah? So the color was purple, and they came in the outfits that they felt comfortable in it.
Yeah.
But now the comments I saw online where people are like, Nigerians, we need to be looking up to Nigeria.
No,
it was not a red carpet event or a black tie event where you need to be in those long flowing gowns and stuff like that. So when you have those kind of like James Bond, what, nini, that one you can dress up. But if it's a color theme, then work within that. Unless it's now brunch or an evening or dinner. Now it's specific, it's dinner or brunch and stuff like that. Now you can always find around. So honestly speaking, people dress apart from those who are wale wenye tuliona sitawataja.
But anyway,
so that is
you are allowed to talk about it because I mean you own a fashion house.
Yes, so now Trendy B has been my stepping stone. Again, as I told you, the fear of not being employed is the reason why I started Trendy B Fashion House. And I started it when I was very young, when I just started employment. And it's something that I picked up from my mom also. My mom always did the side hustles, buying this, selling this, blah, 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 blah. So I always look forward to what if one day I wake up and I'm being told, Mrembo, pack and go. What is your backup plan? So that is how I started Trendy B Fashion
Let us pray. Iyo haitafanyika. Anytime that happens, you'll be headhunted again.
Amen. Yeah. So one, it was because of fear of unknown, and then now, what was something that I would really, really bank on if this something happens? Yeah, fashion. That is something that I'm so passionate about. It's something that now I am always talking about. It's not just making clothes to make money. but to make women look beautiful, to make people look presentable. Like if Zippy was to wear my outfit, that is how I want her to look. If she walked into a boardroom, if she went for an event, if she did all that. So it's all about passion. So passion as number one, and then now making money out of it is number two. Yeah.
Where is Trendy B?
Sorry.
If someone wants to get something
it's in
from
Kilimani. You can check us out at Kilimani, Mutitwandi. And then also now that is where our workshop is. But we are based at Zanta Dede store at Village Market. Old Wing, opposite Carrefour. So you can go and find the ready-to-wear there. So that is where to find 20B. So yeah. Yes. Let people come. Let's talk about. So it's not just about stitching and giving you. There's a whole conversation around that. We get to discuss what do you like, your dislikes, your 8 to 5 job, your weekends and all that. So that one determines the kind of outfits we do. Now, unfortunately, the Kenyans who are busy complaining that Kenyans do not know how to dress, them they want very quick fixes.
Yes,
like right now, backless dera.
Yeah,
that is the
like
in thing.
I don't want to wait. They don't want the designer to take time. Yeah.
Backless dera, that is what I want. Aya, niko na event Saturday, unataka gown. Leo ni Wednesday, Thursday, unataka kusumbua mtu, akutengeneze gown ya
kitambo atafute fabric.
Akutengeneze. Hapo hivyo sasa unaenda unaanika ati what I ordered versus what I got. Did you take time for them to understand what you wanted?
Yes.
And then for them to actualize whatever you wanted.
And some of them also order and they don't. This is somebody who has never even took your measurement.
Yes.
And then you go there and then you say they did not make it to my measurement, but you're like, you just told them make this size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you do not have time to go do the fitting and all that because there's a lot of adjustments that need to be done for you to get that actual outfit. I think we need to have a discussion around.
We'll talk about Trendy B
next time
and the fashion industry. So now you're going to pick any of this and then you'll tell us any story about it. Yes.
About it.
Yeah.
Any I can do
any.
Two.
Just pick one. The one that draws you. Yes.
So I think fun.
Yeah.
So fun. I'll say I love dressing up. Yeah. When I'm bored, when I'm stressed, I love dressing up. I love checking out people, how they've dressed and everything, advising guys and stuff. That is number one when it comes to fun. I'm an outdoor person. I always tell people I'm extrovert, introverted. There's a word that people use.
Ambivert.
Yes, it's the ambivert. Yeah. But I'm that type of a person who always builds a wall. By the time I open up to you, it has really, really taken inaitwanga something awkward. What awkward? There's a word.
We'll get it.
Yes,
it
that one,
come. Yeah.
So a lot of the time when it comes to what do I do for fun, I'm an outdoor person. Because now when I'm hiking, I'm in my own space. Yes, I'll talk to people in beats, but tunaendelea tu wewe kila mtu akona shughuli zake. I love running. So you'll not find me doing those club runs. I used to do them once upon a time, but I'll not do club runs because that means you need to hang out with people, talk to people and all that. I just want to do my own run without pressure and go. So traveling, I travel a lot. I do a lot of solo. By the way, if there's anyone out there who's never done solo travel and
it's
everything,
important.
Please try it once I started it in 2017 on my birthdays. You know the way people now throw bashes, or they want to get together, cutting cake and stuff. Mimi, my birthday weekends,
travel.
It's a solo travel. That is when I do my vision board. I do everything. It's my weekend to myself. And then sasa nyinyi wengine mtakuja after nimemalizana with myself. So that is the fun thing. I think that's it. Is there anything that I need to talk about?
If you feel there's nothing else, it's your final moment to tell us using that camera. Yeah, anything you want the audience to know. Yeah.
Wow. Guys, just have fun. Yani, umesikia venye nimesema? Every day when you wake up in the morning, you're closer to your death. Yes, it's scary. So, please, just have fun. Enjoy moments with your loved ones, your family, be it colleagues, be it whoever that people are within. Try out new things. Every year, try out new things. If you're not into swimming, just go try out swimming. If you don't do yoga, try out yoga. So that is what I just want to say. Just have fun.
Thank you very much, BRENDA NAKHULO.
KHAIMIA.
This has been a very wonderful conversation. You know, at a time, time. We need another interview. So I think I'm very honored that you really accepted to be part of us. And my peoples, this brings us to the end of this episode of the Power Narrative Podcast. I'd like to request you to subscribe and follow our pages on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And kindly leave a word. If you'd like to partner with us, kindly reach out to the numbers down here. And if you'd like to be our guest, or if you'd like us to host anyone whom you think is fit for this show, kindly reach out to us in any of our channels or in the numbers below. Until next time, see you. Bye-bye.